Hey everybody, how are you today? Nice to see you on this Friday morning. Today we have our advanced conversation class with me, Ellen, and I am going to talk about dating and marriage. So join us. I have the QR code here for you. Join us on Zoom. In a few moments, we'll let everybody in from Zoom and talk and share in English. It's okay if you're not an advanced level. You can still join and listen and learn. But be warned, this is an advanced class. So be prepared for some advanced conversation. All right, in a moment, we'll bring in everybody from Zoom. For now, scan this QR code, please, and join us. All right, let's see. All right, hello, hello. Hey, Omar, how are you? Hi, Christine. Hi, Amita. Hi, Yogesh. Hello. How are you guys doing today?
Hello,
Hello. How are we?
I'm doing. We are good.
Good,
Thank
good,
you.
good. Amazing, amazing. Oh, my friends, it's Friday. I'm
Gosh,
before a
Friday.
holiday weekend here in the United States. On Monday,
Mm-hmm.
we have a holiday. Do you know what it is?
Bank Day.
So on Monday, our holiday is called Memorial Day. And
Who's memo?
Memorial Day is for people who died in the military. So if they were in the Army, in the Navy, in the Air Force, in a war, it's to have a memory in memory of those who died during wars or other military events. And that is on Monday, May 26th. So we do not have school here at Approach, and therefore we will not have class. But we will return on Tuesday and have class. So here in the US, it'll be a long weekend. The decorations look similar to the 4th of July, with a lot of American flags, red, white, and blue, barbecues. We have parades in the street. And it's usually a great long weekend for people to also take a short trip. I used to go camping with my family sometimes. So that is coming on Monday. So Monday, no class, please remember. But we'll see you on Tuesday. We'll be back. We're already at the end of week 7, going into week 8 of our quarter. We have 11 weeks here at Approach each quarter. So it's been pretty busy recently. So, my friends, today I want to talk about a topic that is not Memorial Day. I thought about it and I said, I think this would be a little more interesting. So, I want to talk about dating and marriage. I wanted to talk about this because on Sunday, I'm getting married. So I was like, okay, this I can talk about. I have so much in my mind right now about weddings. So I wanted to talk about dating and marriage and talk about not are you in a relationship, but what are the customs for a wedding in your culture? Or what are the qualities you look for in a partner? That's what I want to talk about today. You do not need to be in a relationship with anybody. You do not need to be married. But I just want to talk about this topic as it's happening for me this weekend. It's crazy. So let's talk about dating and marriage, my friends. My first question for you that I have 2 questions here. What's your idea of a perfect first date? Perfect is an ideal world, but if you had to go on a first date, if you went on a first date, what is your idea of a perfect first date? Let's talk about that. If you had to go on a first date, what would be your ideal date? What would you do with this person? Where would you go?
Hmm. Maybe where she wants to go, then
Mm-hmm.
we can decide
Mm-hmm.
and go.
Definitely. So let her decide, let her choose. That's an option. Is there somewhere that you would like to go that you would think is so beautiful or fun or quiet? What would you prefer?
Hmm.
For example, for me, for a first date, I would prefer something maybe in, like they say, traditionally, like in a restaurant for dinner, because I maybe don't want to be like completely alone with this person yet. Like in a public place, it helps us feel a little less nervous. There's other people, there's noises. Sometimes it's too overwhelming depending on your personality. But personally, I like to have a first date of somewhere like more public. It could be a park, it could be the movies, though you're not talking so much at the movies, so it's a little more, um, it's less interactive. So it's hard to choose, but I think I would prefer a more public place for a date. And so, what do you think, my friends? Habiba, Amina, Christine, what are you guys thinking? If you had to go on a first date, if you went on a first date, what's the idea of a perfect first date?
I
I think
have
amusement park.
Amusement park? Definitely, Yogesh.
We can do
I
different activities. We can eat on the stalls we have.
Mm-hmm.
We can ride on different. Uh, what do we say?
Rides. Ride on different rides, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, we can
yeah.
ride on
It's
different
super
rides.
easy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Awesome. That sounds amazing. Amina, what would you like to share?
I have the same idea of your because when you meet someone in the first day or the first time, I prefer to go into a restaurant for to eat something and
Mm-hmm.
discuss. Uh,
Definitely. Eating something
yes,
together is very common. Sometimes we're so nervous that we don't want to eat. Sometimes we are shy for eating. But other times it can be really fun and bring people together. Yeah,
yes.
awesome. So, have you ever gone on a bad date before? I've been pretty lucky. I don't think I've gone on like a bad date. I didn't go on so many dates. First of all, it's okay if you do, but I didn't go on so many, so I didn't have like a lot of good or bad experiences. But the dates that I went on, a few, they were not bad. They were not amazing, but they were not bad, you could say. So I want to ask you guys, in your culture, what is the age that people often get married? Do they get married when they are younger, or now in the US we see a trend where people are getting married a little older? They're working more. What is the age that people would get married in your country, typically?
In my culture, the age for married it's between 20 and 30.
Mm-hmm. Here too. Here too. Mm-hmm. Habiba, how about you? In Pakistan, right? I believe.
Can you listen me?
Yes.
Okay. In Pakistan, mostly the age of a girl is 23, and to 23 to 25, and the
Mm-hmm.
boy's age maybe 28 to 30.
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah.
interesting. I
They,
think that's a similar pattern around the world.
yeah.
Definitely. Thank you, Habiba. Christine,
Okay.
How about you? No worries. Sumit, what is the age that people normally get married in your culture, in your country?
Ma'am, in India, both male and females marry at the age of 25 to 30.
Very good, very good. Thank you, Sumit. So here in the United States, it's very similar. Typically, we're in our 20s or 30s. I am 29 years old. I'm almost 30. And so that's a pretty normal age in the United States. Pretty average age is maybe 27, 28. But oftentimes now we see people getting married later. They're maybe waiting longer to get married, either in their working on their career and not dating, or they're also maybe potentially worried about divorce, because in the United States, divorce is not so common, but it's not rare. And so people are waiting longer to get married because of divorce rates as well, really making sure that they want to be with this person. So we've seen more trends recently in the US of people getting married later, but we still have many people that get married in their 20s. So, what are some wedding traditions in your culture, in your country? In the United States, you maybe see in movies and TV shows typical wedding culture. We have the cake that we feed, we have the first dance. What are some things that I would see if I went to a wedding in your home? What would I see? What would be maybe different from the US? I want to know.
Lehenga, sherwani. So lehenga is for girls,
Mm-hmm.
bride, and uh, sherwani. Yes, sherwani is for groom.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the dress code which they wear. Mostly
Mm.
they wear this only.
Interesting. So you have specific names, specific words for the dress code of the bride and the groom. Very
Yes.
cool. Very cool. We can talk a lot about Indian weddings, because Indian weddings are like another level. There's not just one wedding. In the US, we have one wedding. In India, you guys are doing multiple days of festivities. Definitely.
Yeah, I think 6 to 5 days. Like
Yeah. Do you guys do something similar in Pakistan, or is it different?
something similar. First is Mayo, then Mendi, Barat, Walima, and other many things.
Wow, so cool. So cool. Here at Approach, one of our top management is our dear Indian COO, Ghazal. And she's from Lucknow. And I've learned so much about Indian weddings from her. And it's so interesting to me.
Ma'am,
Yes, go ahead.
ma'am, in Hindu wedding in India, traditional attire play very important role and reflect culture value, regional customs, and family tradition.
That's
The
so
bride,
nice.
the bride traditionally wear red, maroon, or pink sarees or langa, as red symbolize prosperity uh,
Mm.
and fertility and martial bliss. The outfit is often heavenly embroidered with gold or silver thread work, stone, and zari work. And bride wear traditional jewelry like Mangal Sutra, earrings, necklace, and nose ring,
Mm-hmm.
anklets. In many regions, henna, mehendi
Yes.
is applied on the hand and feet. The bride may also wear a veil overhead.
Very nice. Yes, in
And
India, definitely the jewelry, the bracelets, the rings, the nose ring, and the henna. In the United States, we pronounce henna. and beautiful. If you've never seen it before, if that's new for you, look it up. It's
Yes,
so
ma'am.
cool.
And ma'am, the groom usually wear sherwani, long coat-like garments along with churidar pajama, and turban is on the head, often decorated with brooch or feather. Some grooms wear a stole or dupatta draped over one or both shoulder. In some region, the groom is also carry a sword or dagger as a symbol of protection and tradition. Footwear is usually uh, Mazuri Jutti, traditional in Indian shoes. That's
Wow.
all.
That's so cool. Thank you, Sumit. I think also the colors, the representation of the colors and the meanings are so cool. The colors in Indian, or I'm sure Pakistani as well, weddings, the bright colors are, for an American that has a black and white wedding,
Yeah.
beautiful. Nowadays in the United States, we have many colors with the flowers, with the decorations, but the clothes are still usually black and white mostly for the
Do you
bride and the
wear
groom.
jewelries?
Yes, so we have jewelry, but it's definitely not as much as Indian or Pakistani jewelry. We would have earrings. We would maybe have a necklace. We'll have the ring, and sometimes in our hair, they'll have some decoration, some beading, and we have a veil as well here in the United States. So I have my dress, I have a veil, I have my shoes, I have a little bit of jewelry, and then we get our hair and our makeup done, things like that, definitely. But traditionally, the colors, like the dress for the woman, is always white, usually. And the dress for the clothing, the suit, we would say tuxedo, for the man, typically is black and white. Sometimes there's another color in there, but usually it's black and white.
In Pakistan, there are everyone have other tradition like Pathan wear Pathani frock, Baloch wear Balochi frocks, and Punjabi wear I think lengas and shararas, and Sindhi wear their Sindhi culture dress there, and Pashtun I think Pathan wear I think green dress.
So cool.
Basic, yeah, and they have their tradition jewelry like,
Yeah.
yeah, they have their own tradition jewelry like
Wow.
yeah, they a bride always wear gold jewelries, yeah,
That's
must,
so cool.
that would be must.
Yes. Here, often we have either a silver jewelry or a gold jewelry, but usually the wedding ring, traditionally we used to have gold, and my ring is gold. But many other rings now, we have a lot of like yellow, sorry, not yellow gold, white gold, which looks silver. And there's also, for men, there's now many popular rings in the United States that are a dark color ring, a black ring, tungsten metal. And that's something that if you come to the United States, you might see a lot of men with a dark color ring. And it's the new trend. It's not like a bad thing. It's new, and it's a metal that's maybe better for not only cheaper, but lasts longer. Very interesting, though. Okay, my friends. So my next question that I have for you guys is more related not to weddings, but to dating. I want to ask, what are your thoughts about online dating? In the United States, we have different apps for online dating: Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, etc. There's Facebook dating. There's so many. Is online dating popular or common in your country? What are your thoughts or opinions about it? Do you know anybody who met through online dating? Let's talk about it. First, is online dating common in your country?
I think no,
Mm-hmm.
not common in our country.
Mm-hmm. I think
The
I've heard that before as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when the girl and boy's marriage is permission by their parents.
Yes,
If the parents
exactly.
were agreed, they were married. If the parents were not agreed, I don't think so. They can't marry. There are,
Mm-hmm.
I think, 100% of 25% are in Pakistan. There are love marriage, but and other percent they're engaged.
Exactly. That's something that we talk about in the United States when we learn about different cultures from the US is what we call arranged marriage. When your parents arrange, your families arrange your marriage.
Yeah.
And of course, there can be love, but sometimes there isn't. It depends. And for many people, it's common or normal. For the United States, it's different and not common here, but it doesn't make it bad, of course. Something that's different is
Yeah.
not bad. And so it's something that we can definitely talk about because you guys know more about that than I do, I would say.
It's all the game of a faith. If
Yeah.
you have a faith that this boy will be in your life partner, so it would be. If he is not, you love it, and he is not, no, you can't marry it.
Mm-hmm. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. And so, because of this kind of culture tradition of arranged marriage, online dating is not really common or popular. And it's not really necessary sometimes, I think. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Here in the US, online dating is pretty popular. It's been popular for quite a while, but it continues to grow always. And many people nowadays in the United States meet online, and sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not great, of course. Uh, so, do you think, would you ever try online dating? What do you think?
No.
That's okay. You can totally say no.
Yeah.
I would say that I will try online dating, but it has to be in the reach. It should not be like I'm in one state and she is in like two or three states apart from me.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm not. I don't want to look crazy, but for me, uh, physical touch is very important
Mm-hmm.
to
No,
to
of course.
feel to feel more connected towards a girl or dating a
Mm-hmm.
partner. So
Mm-hmm.
that is you cannot feel like you want to if you are just dating on virtually and you have no physical meetings. It could be like at a distance of 1 day, then it's still manageable. But if you have to go by train or you have to
Mm-hmm.
go by aeroplane for
Yeah.
spending thousands of money, so I
Mm-hmm.
will not prefer that um, dating.
Yeah. Definitely. That's something we can talk about is long distance relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Long distance relationships. For example, in the past, my sister was in a long distance relationship. We are in Boston, the east coast of the United States, and her now ex boyfriend was in Washington State on the west coast of the United States, the complete opposite side. And that was hard. That was hard. For many people, having a close relationship physically is very important, and it's not a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be physically near someone. And so, definitely, if you're online dating, you would want to set your kilometers, your miles range smaller. Definitely. Because that's something you can do on these apps is you can change how close and how far you want from your home.
Yes. Unlike other countries like European countries or USA where couples live together after dating,
Mm-hmm.
so thing is not very much popular
Mm-hmm.
and not being supported by families.
Yeah.
But I think if you can't live together in a house to know each other, but to know each other, then you should
Yeah.
in a week or a month. So it
Mm-hmm.
is important.
That's a great point, Yogesh. And you brought up another great point about should you live together before getting married. Here in the United States, it is very common. There are some that are maybe more religious people that don't always do it. They are more, we would say, modest, and they live separately until they're married. But mostly in the United States, we live together when we're dating as well. Not immediately, but after some time. And it's actually, for many, they argue, important to know if you want to marry this person and live with them forever. Other people say, if I'm marrying them, I should know. So it's a personal preference, and that's totally fine. And sometimes there's a religious aspect to it as well, and other times it's personal. So, Miriam, you would like to share? Go ahead.
Yes,
Hey, teacher.
to be honest, I am not interested in online date. Yeah.
I understand. I understand. And can you explain why? That's okay. No worries. Okay, so
Hi, hi,
And
hi,
teacher.
Christine. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to share about New York dating culture.
Yeah.
So when I'm stay in New York,
Mm-hmm.
I meet a boy.
Uh-huh.
Yes, maybe, but the he told me so in New York, you if you dating for somebody, so mm, just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
So because I'm a Chinese, so in China, so if you're dating, you must you have to only one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
So
see what you mean. So in China, when you're dating someone, you date just one person. You don't have
yeah,
multiple
one
people.
person just
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, I
So he
understand.
told me yeah. So he told me so we can do all things, So but you are not my girlfriend. We are just for fun. So you know.
That can be
So
complicated.
yeah.
Yeah. So in New York
Yes.
City, in New York, it's even different, definitely in the city.
Yes. So
And in the United
mm,
States, in New York, it is definitely common to date more than one person. Of course, you should be open and tell people that I don't want to be committed to one person, people say. And then
yeah.
you decide if you agree or disagree. Because for me, I want to date one person personally. But other
Yeah.
people are okay with dating multiple people. It's definitely different. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's so different. So
Yeah. Thank you for sharing,
yeah.
Christine. Is there anyone
Yeah.
else who would like to
Thank you.
share?
Yeah. Thank
hello,
you.
ma'am.
Yes. Hello.
As a medical student in India, I am currently very focused on my study
Yes.
and building a stable career. In our culture, relationship and marriage are important, and I respect that. However, right now, dating is not my priority
Mm-hmm.
because it requires time and commitment that I want to dedicate to my education and future. I believe meaningful relationship will come naturally when the time is right.
Exactly.
Possibly after marriage, everyone's journey is different, and I respect all choice.
Yes, that's well written, Smeet. So, definitely, if you are focused, not everybody is at that same stage in life. And if you're focused on your studies, I was too for a very long time. And that is so normal, that is amazing. And when the time is right, these things will happen for you. I agree. I agree. So, my friends, I wanted to show you guys some specific phrases, some expressions that we use in English relating to dating, relating to marriage. So, I have a few over here. So, let's see, my dears. Let's see, what we have here is first, we have the phrase pop the question. What does that mean, pop the question? Do you know? Pop the question. We would say, for example, he popped the question. And she said yes. Do we know?
It's mean if you are agree to marry this person.
If you're going to propose, if you get on one knee and propose. So this question here, will you marry me, is the question
Yes.
in English that we say, will you marry me? That is to pop the question. So we would say, he popped the question, for example. Okay, tie the knot. What is tie the knot?
Marriage day.
So it's to get married. Like it is, they say a knot is like in your shoes, so to connect two people, two families, to tie the knot. We tie the knot this weekend. Now, this is a sad one, but break up. What does it mean to break up?
Leave someone.
Yeah. We've all gone through these experiences. They're hard. Maybe we broke up with somebody. Maybe they broke up with us. It's a part of dating and sometimes marriage, unfortunately. For marriage, we say divorce, of course. So to break up is to no longer date somebody or be in a relationship with somebody. Okay, soulmate. What's a soulmate?
He's my boyfriend and he's my girlfriend is called soulmate.
Yeah. So this
I
is.
think you can.
Go
I
ahead.
think you can. I think you can answer this question, this word very well. You are getting married now.
Exactly. So the soulmate is somebody that you want to be with forever, that you feel is you have a soul inside, and you feel that that soul is connected to this other person's soul, that you really are connected and in love with them. Do you believe in soulmates is a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people do, some people say no. Some people say no until they find one, maybe.
At
And
early age, they think you cannot say that you found soulmate because it's too early.
I know
But
that's the other thing. Like you have your whole life. Maybe it's this person, maybe not. We don't know. I agree.
yes, when you are at the age of marriage, then you can say that okay, I found it. And
Exactly.
eventually, you don't have that long time to get married, so
Mhm.
you even have to get married and you are married.
Exactly. Exactly. And blind date. What's a blind date?
Date arranged
You
with
you
someone
don't
else.
know who is he, who is she, but
Yeah.
you want a date with him.
Have you
Or
done
her.
this before? I have never done.
No,
I have never done this. No.
No,
no one ever
No.
find me a girl for that.
no.
I think you could, Yogesh. I think you could. But I get it. It's scary. The idea is scary. I hear you. Now, these are just 5. Do you know any other words? It can even just be vocabulary words related to dating, to marriage, to weddings. Can you think of any more phrases or words?
Situationship.
Ooh, can you explain what a situationship is? That's a really good one.
I'm not sure, and I was not in situationship, but I heard that when you when you are in when you are in a relationship, but you still seek for someone else, it's like a cheating.
Kind of. So that to me sounds more like cheating, but a situationship is similar to what Christine was saying in the sense of somebody says that you're not like official boyfriend and girlfriend, but you like them and you see almost like your boyfriend and girlfriend, but no title. And so like, for example, 2 people meet, they're dating, and it's like 3 months, still no boyfriend, girlfriend. Situationship. It's a situation. And then relationship, situationship. Good word. Okay, anything else? What can you guys think of? We have the bride, the groom. That's for the specific day. We had the dating apps we talked about. Blind date. We have, when you're a little nervous before a wedding and some people say, oh, maybe I don't get married. Do you know what that expression we use?
Now,
It's called cold feet. That you have cold feet. Not literally, but to have cold feet is to be really scared about your wedding and like maybe leave and change your mind. And then we also have, for example, the different places you can get married. We have something like the arch. We have an altar if you're at a church of sorts. There's a lot of different vocabulary words related to weddings, definitely. We said suit, we said dress, lots of things. So I have 3 more questions here for you guys. We'll talk about. What qualities do you look for in a partner? Most of us are the same. We want somebody who's funny, who's kind, etc. What do you look for in a partner? Do you think marriage is necessary? And what advice would you give to a newly married couple? Even if you're not married, what advice would you give? Because you can still give advice. It doesn't matter if you're married or not. So let's have these 3 questions. First, what qualities do you look for in a partner? Tell me.
I think loyalty.
Loyalty. That's perfect.
Care, kindness,
Kindness.
and funny.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Amazing. Yes. We want somebody who we find attractive, we could say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Miriam, what do you look for in a partner? What qualities do you want?
Caring,
Mm-hmm.
honest, have fashion sense,
Yeah.
and I don't know.
Yeah. That's okay. You have
Think
time.
about it.
You have time to think about it. You have lots of
Yes.
time. But caring, good fashion sense, I love it. I love it. Yogesh, go ahead.
in my opinion, I want 2 qualities. First is she should be sarcastic,
Mm-hmm.
and the second should be I want that she is a good pickup. Not good pickup. That if I say something and be it little bit not said directly, but little indirectly or not said direct to the fullest, then
Yes.
she understand. So
Okay.
it's
So you want somebody who matches your sense of humor, somebody who's going to really understand you and how you think as well.
yes,
I love that. That's amazing.
being sarcastic is very important. If and most of the people these days speak something in a sarcastic way, and when I'm surrounded by people and if I say something, so most of the time they are like, "What did you say? What
Mm-hmm.
does that mean?" So
Yeah.
that makes very
They almost get concerned. They don't understand the
yeah,
sarcasm. You want somebody who will understand your sarcasm. I get it.
yes. So
I
it's
love it.
very annoying when they ask again, "What did you say? What does that mean?
Yeah.
You shouldn't have said that." It's
Mm-hmm.
for getting ease, but they don't understand this.
Mm-hmm. I understand. Those are very interesting qualities and different than the normal ones on the list. I like it. I like it. Amazing. Anyone else? What qualities do you look for in a partner?
Ma'am, I believe my partner should be understanding and patience because our profession is very demanding and required long hours and sometimes unpredictable schedules. So having
Mm-hmm.
someone who is supportive and can communicate openly is really important. And trust and positive attitude help us face challenge together. Flexibility is also key because emergence can happen anytime.
Yeah, definitely. When you're a student and you have a very busy schedule, you need someone who is going to be patient, supportive, understanding that you're working really hard and you may not have as much time. And eventually you do have time and it's better, for sure. I agree. Somebody that can understand. We all want that. Anyone
What
else?
is your opinion?
What's mine? So, for sure, after my last relationship, I wanted a man who was a hard worker. I wanted a man who would really put in effort in the relationship. And I got that. I was very lucky. And I also wanted
Mashallah.
somebody, exactly. I wanted somebody who could also, again, humor was a big thing for me too, was this person, of course, should be kind, should be honest, should be caring, like we all want. I wanted somebody who could understand my humor as well, that could be funny, and my guy makes me laugh. He does, so I'm lucky, definitely. Yeah, thank you for asking.
I will pray that Allah give you a happy life
Thank you so
with
much.
your
Thank you
partner.
so much. I appreciate it. So, my next question, do you think marriage is necessary? This was an interesting question. Do you think marriage is necessary?
Yes. You
Why?
need some. You need someone to fight with when you are in your old age.
Yeah, yeah. You need somebody to go grow old with, we say. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But you can grow old with other people as well, but you need to have that person with you can fight, and then not physical bruising and
No,
all.
no, no.
It,
Of course,
it
of
will be
course. Small arguments.
back and yes,
Yeah,
argument, yes, right.
yeah, definitely. I hear you, Yogesh. Miriam, what do
Yes.
you think?
I don't think marriage is necessary, but in some time I think marriage is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
But I can choose.
I know. I
If
know.
marriage is necessary, if marriage is not necessary.
Yeah. Definitely. The word necessary is a hard word. Is do we need marriage? Some people say yes, and some people say no. And it's our opinion, of course. Mm-hmm.
I think life is so difficult if you have. I know parents will care us. If someday parents will not with us, we were alone. So what would we do? So I think we have someone that who cares and understand you and love you.
Yeah. Definitely. That's the thing. Maybe we're young now, but we will not be young forever. And to grow old, to go through life alone can be so difficult. And alone, of course, without a partner doesn't mean you have friends, you have family, but to have a real partner is something different. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I think I see people, for example, that were in a relationship, married but not married by legal. And they were in a relationship for almost 30 years. And then they got married. It was crazy. And I said, wow, why did they choose now to get married? And you know what it was? Was money, actually. They decided that they weren't going to get married until their debt, all their extra debt from school, from other things, were gone. And that was a long time, but they still got married. I was like, wow, that was a very interesting story. It's my aunt's best friend. It was very interesting. So, some people think marriage is necessary, some people think marriage is not, but we know that having a partner is very important to our lives, even if it's legal or not. Having a partner, having someone you can share these things with and grow with, definitely.
Yeah, who fulfill your and who give you money for shopping.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Always, always. So,
And
yes, go ahead, please.
ma'am, I believe marriage is necessary because it gives you emotional support, stability, and a lifelong companion. It helps build a strong family
Mm-hmm.
and provide balance in life.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. Thank you, Sumit. So, my friends, my last question on that slide, and I have more later. What advice would you give to a newly married couple? That's what we'd say. A newly married couple is someone who is just married. What advice would you give them for a long, happy marriage, for example?
I think be loyal
Um,
and
I want
never
to say that
alone her or him.
I want to say
Yeah, go ahead, Yogesh.
my advice would be hello.
I can hear you.
Okay, so my advice will be for you that whenever there is a fight in a day, you should never go to sleep before you resolve it.
Always.
Whether it takes 2 a.m. in the morning or 3 a.m. or you don't even sleep, but you should solve it before you go to sleep. And within 24 hours, if you keep it inside you, it will become a big issue and it will keep hurting you. Also, if it takes a big uh, if it gets bigger, if you see a rope,
Mm-hmm.
if you knot a tie a knot in a rope, that rope will never be same as straight. It will have some kind of knots.
I
So
understand.
that is very important. So if you don't want that knots in your rope
Mm-hmm.
cleared within 24 hours.
That's a great phrase. In English, we would say as well, a bump in the road. A bump in the
Um,
road is, or a rough patch. And it's the same idea, definitely. I think
And
that don't go to bed angry always. I can't, I can't sleep. No, I hear you. Yes.
ma'am,
Yes.
uh, always communicate openly and honestly and respect each other differences and never stop supporting and appreciating one another. Marriage is not about being perfect but about growing together every day.
Yes, exactly. Having open communication, honest communication, is maybe the number one key. You must communicate. You cannot hold it inside. Like you guys said, 24 hours. Oh my gosh, it's worse and worse. Definitely. And you need to be understanding. My fiance is Brazilian. I am
oh,
American.
oh,
And yeah, so uh, I have learned not only not fluently Portuguese. I understand most Portuguese. I've learned about not only Brazilian culture from being at Approach. We have many Brazilian students at Approach, but also I've learned about his specific area in Brazil and himself as well. Because when you're raised in another culture, your personalities can be different. And so, definitely getting to know each other, having a cross cultural relationship and marriage is very important to communicate always.
I
Mary,
would
yeah, go
I
ahead.
want to add a
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
I
go ahead.
want to add a point where Sumit said that there should be open conversation. Most of the time, couple think that it is very obvious thing that to other person to
Yes,
understand it, giving that much of hints. But sometimes there is a miscommunication, or sometimes people are not in their zone to understand. So it's important to directly sometimes confront or sometimes say directly by going that okay,
Yeah.
this thing happened and this thing made me sad and
Yeah.
whatever the situation is, and you should tell them directly.
Definitely. The thing is, and in my relationship as well, we don't speak the same first language. Of course, my fiance speaks English, but his first language is Portuguese, my first language is English. And sometimes we miscommunicate, and I need to be direct sometimes, or he needs to be direct to really get that complete communication out there. Um, at the beginning of our relationship, we would sometimes use a little bit of Google Translate to be able to really understand because we didn't always have the words. Now it's been a while, so it's better. And of course, he's studied more English and I've studied more Portuguese, so it helps. We speak English at home, but it's really important because if you're not direct, you're not going to understand. And that's a huge thing, definitely. Oh, yeah. Miriam, go ahead.
In any problem, they solve problem together,
Yes.
respect each other, and forgive each other.
Yes.
Set goals. Set goals. At is main thing.
Mm-hmm. I love it. Definitely, we need to solve problems together, set goals together. You need to be on the same page, we say in English. Be on the same page. If you're not, then it may lead to problems, arguments, fights. And so it is very important to have these solutions together. Something that has been not so difficult but can be stressful is planning the wedding. Planning the wedding can be stressful, and sometimes I need to take a second, and he's like, "You don't agree with me?" And I'm like, "I don't agree with you." And then I'm like, "Hold on. It's just because this is a stressful time trying to plan things. We're in this together. We can do this." And then it's better. But things get overwhelming, and you need somebody to be able to kind of calm you down if you get overwhelmed, because that's what I need in a partner. Definitely. Yogesh, you'd like to share anything else?
I have another point
Yeah?
to say. Never include third person in your relationship or in your problem. You can share good things that like I bought this car or
Yeah.
I'm thinking to buy something, but never share your problems with a third person. Be it
Mm-hmm.
very close friend. Like many people say that we have 20 years of friendship, but
Yeah.
I think you shouldn't share your problem. It can make your problems worse.
Yes.
Obviously, you can share with parents, but it should be at a last stage when everything is not working and it's almost about to end.
You really need
Sometimes third
help,
person,
for example.
yes, sometimes
Yeah.
third person intervene can solve the problem, but not
Mm-hmm.
in initial stage.
I
Third person
understand
should
what
be
you
allowed.
mean. Definitely.
Yes.
If you, for example, if I got in a fight with my husband and talked to my best friend, "Oh, he did all these things, he said this," that's not good, of course. I should really have this, calm down or from if I'm upset, and then have the conversation with my husband and not with other people. I agree, 100%. And then sometimes, if you need help from somebody, it is okay to ask for help as well. I hear you. Oh, my friends, I think we're out of time. That's crazy. We're almost there. But thank you guys for joining. Next time you see me, I'm a married woman.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Remember, Monday is the holiday, Memorial Day. We will not have class on Monday, but we will return on Tuesday. All right?
Monday is Memorial Day, Sunday
Yes.
is wedding.
Yeah. Okay, my dears. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys
Thank
next
you.
week.